hasn't fought since that Kevin Kelly fight, which might be a problem for him. But admittedly, as he told Fernando Paramo, this is as big a fight as he's ever had in his career. He has great respect for Paez, knows what a great fighter and great attraction he is. And this is a very important night for the man climbing into the ring right now, Jose Vida Ramos of the Dominican Republic. Nice-looking young guy and a good fighter by all accounts. And while he finds a corner and settles himself in the ring, we turn, of course, to the entrance of Maromiro Paez. Jorge Maromiro Paez is a former world champion who's looking to give his boxing career new momentum after a couple of tough losses and coming into tonight's bout. He's also a man who definitely feels he has something to prove, not only to his fans, but to himself as well. Jorge Maromiro Paez is without a doubt one of the most colorful characters in the sport of boxing. And yet, in spite of his outrageous costumes and ring antics, this former champion's 57-4 record is an impressive illustration of his fierce competitive spirit. Last July, though, his pride was dealt a severe blow when he suffered an embarrassing second-round knockout at the hands of unbeaten WBO lightweight champion Oscar De La Hoya. And the pain of that loss was immeasurably increased when he realized that many questioned his effort.
It
was a very painful loss. In many ways. I said to myself, I'm through. Later, well, maybe because I was hurt mentally because of the defeat, and then the people, everybody, even my closest friends, would look at me and say, hey, you took a dive. And I say, you're crazy. I was crying. I would say, you're crazy. If I had taken a dive, why is this so painful?
After much soul-searching, Paez decided to drop back down to the junior lightweight division. And with famed boxing trainer Nacho Beristain to guide him, he fought undefeated WBA champion Hoya and Hernandez last March. And he more than held his own in the early rounds, only to lose when the fight was later stopped due to cuts he'd suffered from headbutts. That loss has made him even more determined to prove that he still has what it takes.
Yes, I have to prove it to myself that I can do it, that I can. I know that I come from 2 losses. Against Chicanito, it wasn't a loss, but they raised his hand. I want to show to myself that I can do it.
And so tonight, he faces his next test on the road back, a road which he is determined to follow to another world title.
Champion.
That is my goal, to be a world champ. That's what I want. That's why I have worked so hard, trained so hard. You have to give it your all. Like they said, you have to first plant, and then you can harvest. I have already planted. I have trained. Now I want the fruit of the work.
Jorge Maromiro Paez. He's up on the shot, gentlemen. That is he behind the wedding veil and in a We said, you know, Montemero Paez does some things that'll distract you a little bit. When he walked over to shake hands with Ramos, Ramos looked at him and started to laugh right out loud.
Well, we've seen him do some pretty wild things, but that one, I saw him one night at the Forum throwing condoms to the fans at ringside.
He just took his garter off and it's thrown into the crowd, a la a bride on wedding day. Unbelievable. Montemero Paez.
The guy that caught it threw it right back.
Well, you know, it's up to Jose Vita Ramos here to just keep his, and he looks to be just keeping his focus, Tom. He said he was ready for whatever kind of antics Paez threw at him, and he's just going to go out and fight his fight. And in fact, he came in here after we talked to him yesterday, really basically expecting some weird stuff from Paez, and he's gotten a big, heavy dose of it already.
Yeah. Jimmy Lennon Jr. has settled down, so has the crowd for the most part. Let's go to the center of the ring for the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the home of champions, Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada, for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Forum Boxing and Caesars Palace, along with Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers. At this time, I present to you the officials appointed by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. James Nave. Commissioners Nat Carasali, Dr. Elias Ghanem, Luther Mack, and Crispin Rivera. And the executive director is Mark Ratner. Presenting to you the judges scoring this featured bout from ringside, Paul Smith, Dave Moretti, and Art Lurie. And introducing to you our referee in charge, he'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Joe Cortez. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us across the Southland on KCAL Channel 9, it's time for the main event of the evening, a junior lightweight special attraction scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. I introduce to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner, entering the ring wearing white trunks with red and blue trim, making his home in New York City, New York, by way of La Vega in the Dominican Republic. He weighed in at 128 pounds. His outstanding record stands at 24 wins, only 2 losses, with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jose Vita Ramos. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the ring attired in white trunks and hailing from Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico. He weighed in at the junior lightweight limit of 130 pounds even, and his record includes 53 wins, 8 losses, 4 draws, with 35 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the former IBF featherweight champion of the world. Here is the clown prince of boxing, the colorful Jorge Montemero Paez. Once again, he is our referee in charge, Joe Cortez.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Ya yo vi las reglas en camerino. Lo cinturón aquí está bastante alto. Aquí todavía está bueno el golpe, okay? Give me a good clean fight, una pelea limpia, suelte a los dos.
All right, the tail of the tape. As you look at these two fighters, Ramos is a year younger. He's 2 inches taller than Paez. He's 2 pounds lighter, and Paez has 2 inches advantage in the reach department. Here in Nevada, the rules governing this go in the junior lightweight division: 10 points to the winner of the round, lesser number to the loser. 3 knockdown rule in effect. No standing 8 count. Saved by the bell only in the last round, and only the referee can stop the fight. Joe Cortez is standing by to get it started. Let's go to round 1. Paez comes out and touches gloves. You know, for all of his antics, for all of his costumes, he's not only a fine fighter, gentlemen, but he's a real gentleman fighter in the ring. Paez has never, to my way of remembrance, taken advantage of anybody in the ring.
Yeah, he's a good sportsman, Tom.
He is indeed.
And, you know, even I know that he has felt bad when he has faced some outclassed opponents at times.
And has even asked the referee to stop the fight. I mean, point to him and say, listen, I don't want to hurt this man anymore.
And he said coming into this fight, after his fight against Gennaro Hernandez, he went to Antonio Curtis at the Foreign Boxing and told him he wanted to continue on, but no, he didn't want any easy opponents.
But I don't think this Ramos is going to be classified as an easy opponent.
No, that's
4-2.
Absolutely.
I would imagine, though, Fernando, that despite the fact that he said no, most of his career has been spent in his native Dominican Republic. He's fought in Spain a couple of times, in Ecuador. But this has got to be a big away-from-home experience for him.
It has to be one of the biggest fights in his life, especially since I don't recall any fight having the projection that this fight is having.
And a clash of heads, and of course it was a headbutt, or several of them, claimed by Jorge Paez, that decided the fight with Gennaro Hernandez.
So let me bring up right now, because we didn't see it on that rules sheet that we showed you, the accidental headbutt rule here. If the fight is stopped due to a cut, they go to the cards after 3 rounds here in Nevada.
Right hand by Ramos, and Paez was dropped. A disgusted look on his face. Boy, a short chopping right hand by Ramos. Paez, with a grin on his face, now comes out and says, not bad, by way of touching gloves with Ramos. Interesting to see what that effect will have mentally now on both fighters.
Let's see if Ramos wants to really slug it out now, because that actually was the mistake he made with Kevin Kelly. He jolted Kelly a couple of times in the first 2 rounds in his last fight, a world title fight, and found himself getting knocked out in the 2nd round.
Well, he landed a pretty good left a moment ago, drops another short right on Paez, hits him with an uppercut. Paez has him in Ramos's corner, but they move away from there along the ropes. Paez trying to work to the body, got hit again, staggered back again.
You know what's significant is that they made this fight at 130 pounds. There was no reason for it.
And Paez made the weight, which I think is significant too. He's in good, very good condition.
Yes, many people think that some of his losses, notably to the IBF title when he lost to Pendleton, and one, of course, he lost to Oscar De La Hoya, were fought at weights he couldn't handle.
Yes, but one thing, you know, with Nacho Beristain in his corner, Tom, you know, Nacho is known as an excellent conditioner, and he'll keep Paez in good shape if Paez can continue on.
Chopping right hand by Paez at the bell. Interesting first round, and one I would think that would go in the corner to the favor of Jose Ramos.
There's Nacho Beristain leaning in between the ropes. And Paez did such an outstanding job in his fight with Gennaro Hernandez, and much credit must be given to Nacho Beristain, I think, for that. He hit Hernandez more than I've ever seen Hernandez hit in a fight.
What are they talking about, Fernando?
They're asking us is that whenever they're in the inside, try to land more punches.
There we saw the clash of heads, and you'll see Paez react. Paez a little paranoid, though, because of what happened to him in the Gennaro Hernandez fight. Now here's the knockdown, Tom, in round number 1. Look at that right hand.
Yep.
Overhand right. Didn't really travel a long distance, but that is a clean knockdown.
Did they mention that at all between...
No, there was no mention
of the knockdown.
Nothing at all. It's a strategy, basically.
Out they come, round number 2, scheduled for 10. A fight of monumental import to both of these men. And again, they come together and bang heads.
And this was caused by Paez.
Paez in the white, embroidered, beautiful trunks. And Ramos in the white, trimmed in blue and red.
Well, other than the wearing in of a wedding dress, we may not see any more clowning in the ring tonight from Jorge Paez.
I would think that this is not a night of frivolity for Jorge. Matamero Paez getting nailed by Ramos with some solid shots in close.
Ramos is a very sharp hitter, Tom. He throws straight punches, very sharp and stinging punches.
Now, while we've talked about weight, and while Paez has fought at 135, at 131, this young man has been, apparently, according to Nelson Hernandez, at 126 pounds since he was 14 years of age. This guy is a bona fide junior lightweight, if you will, or featherweight. There's been very little weight fluctuation. He's up at 130 pounds, and they said that is no problem. You can see from the look about him, the way his body is cut, that he is in magnificent shape.
Well, his manager, Nelson, says he's the hardest worker he's ever seen in boxing.
He was knocked out by Kevin Kelly, who was then the featherweight champion of the world. He lost to Tony Green, world-class fighter. So his only 2 defeats have come at the hands of very capable opponents.
But he needs to show that he can beat a very capable opponent now, Tom.
True. And as we mentioned a few moments ago, most of his actions have taken place in his native Dominican Republic, and with an occasional sojourn to Ecuador for a fight, into Spain as well. He dropped Paez with a chopping right to the point of the chin right hand in round number 1. They're fighting here in round number 2.
Well, he's beating Paez to the punch. He looks to be a little, a half a step quicker in terms of that hand speed.
Hit him with a pretty good left hand again. Paez, of course, a veteran of the wars. His record 53-8-4, 35 knockouts. Round number 2, half a minute to go. Crowd sitting in kind of eager anticipation. They saw what Ramos could do with a punch, probably waiting for something similar or like it to happen. We'll be back with more. Round 3 follows us in a moment. Out they come for round 3. Did I see just a sliver of blood under the right eyebrow on Paez, gentlemen?
Yeah, he's cut. Bernstein asked him to throw the left hook underneath, said to double up on the hook, go underneath and go up. He says that Vida Ramos is leaving all that side open. Let's see if that holds true.
Well, there's an uppercut thrown at the left hand that narrowly misses. Paez trying, I guess, to show, to follow instructions. Lands a pretty good left there, Rich Murata, and a right.
Paez is coming forward, Tom, trying to show a little more aggressiveness. I think trying to nullify the speed of Ramos by getting close to him and maybe utilizing those uppercuts.
Left hand by Ramos misses, and one by Paez scores. Paez bringing an overhand right. Round number 3, scheduled for 10. In case you just joined us, why, it's been Whackout City for the most part up here at Caesar's Palace. Louis Espinosa, devastating in his performance against Monzon, knocked him out the first round. Felipe Vasquez, how impressive did he look? Put his man Ramirez down no less than 4 times, 3 times in round number 2. Paez knocked down in round number 1. The battle back from what I would think would go into the books as a 10-8 round in favor of Ramos. The young man out of the Dominican Republic.
I think for the first time, Paez is fighting his range.
Yeah, he's having more success in this round, Tom. It's kind of squared up, right in front, crouching at times. Look at how he's square, very square to him here, but he's trying to get in close.
Blood coming from that hairline cut right under the right eyebrow of Paez. They had some headbutts earlier, but I don't think this was caused by a headbutt. I think a punch opened that sliver of red.
There have been 3 headbutts in the fight, however, one in each round.
But they were both holding their foreheads, etc. Not anywhere near their eyes. Paez trying to get himself inside. Good uppercut with slapping right hand. Another right uppercut by Ramos. Paez answers in turn. 2 men battling away at close quarters, and Jorge Hernandez warns them both again about a clash of heads. Ramos in the white, trimmed in red and blue. Paez in the heavily embroidered white trunks.
Yes, and the matching shoes as well. Lovely lace shoes and divine white lace trunks.
Glad you don't buy half an outfit. You know, Rich, you buy the whole thing, first bag and everything. All right, round comes to a...
2 more clashes of heads in round 3. There you see as they both lean forward. And again, Joe Cortez warning them both. They've both been guilty of initiating headbutts in this fight.
A lot of people may call it a meeting of the minds. To fighters, it's an annoying, irritating, frustrating, and sometimes highly injurious item. Paez and Ramos teeing off on each other now, and Ramos is backing Paez up. Paez trying to give him nothing but shoulders and body to hit at. Ramos has him in the corner. Uppercut scores. Paez grins to the crowd. What were they talking about between rounds over there, Fernando?
They were telling Paez to go underneath, to go to the body, that, oh, that is open, and to also combine the punches. Don't just throw a single punch, but throw flurries of punches.
Paez seemed to me to be much more purposeful with his punches in this round when he came out. I mean, really looking to put some sock into him.
Ramos opening first minute and a half, very impressive. He's landed some solid shots, and he's got a busy left hand stuck right in the middle of Paez's face. Pretty good jolting left thrown by Paez, shortened to the point, and a right hand to the forehead. Lands on the brow of Jose Ramos. Toe-to-toe, these two.
Well, Paez wanted a hard fight. He's got one on.
He has indeed. Paez now beginning to work that left hand to the body and upstairs. Another headbutt, perhaps. No blood, I guess, coming from that cut just under the right eye of Paez.
You know, I was concerned on behalf of Paez, Tom, about, you know, how strong those eyes would be tonight. You know, it really wasn't that long ago that the big show
with Hernandez.
Exactly, and he was cut badly in that fight. You know, and I was wondering about how much time he had to heal. That was, you know, on March 31st, so that's really not a tremendous amount of time.
For Paez, I think somebody talked about it yesterday. Whatever you think of the man's ability in the ring, his kind doesn't come along every day. He's a magnificent fighter, great defensive skills. He's got 35 knockouts. He has fought and been a champion as a featherweight, and he's fought all the way up to the 135-pound limit. He's a magnificent fighter. I don't know.
Well, look, he's only lost to world champions. You take a look at, I mean, he's only lost to the Gennaro Hernandez, De La Hoya, Freddie Pendleton, Ruelas, Pernell Whitaker. I mean, that's a pretty impressive list.
It is indeed, in the round, a busy one. Coming to a close, it's been a great round. We'll be back. Out they come for round number 5. Paez in his corner. Check me if I'm wrong, gentlemen. Seemed to be more relaxed. It was not doing any heavy breathing. And Ramos was breathing, gulping for air in his corner.
Well, Tom, I think that Paez is not only picking up in confidence, but that Ramos is beginning to wear down. And I think some of these body punches are slowing Ramos down and forcing him to lose his leg speed. Therefore, Paez is close to him and can land his shots.
Paez has landed several big right hands here in this opening moment or two of round 5. Ramos looked to me when he got up off the stool that he was kind of gasping, mouth open, and he certainly gave that impression during the 1-minute rush between rounds.
They also told him to use combinations, also to use the jab a little bit more. He says that you are winning the fight, they told him, but you have to fight.
Cito throws a big left hand that's low. Joe Cortez warns him. Time has been stopped while Ramos gathers himself.
All right, let's take a look at it here, Tom, and see if it is a. That's a good body punch. That's a left. No, that's not a low blow.
No,
that was a legitimate. Yeah, that's a legitimate left hook to the body.
He landed just about the A on the Ramos.
That's right. Right at the belt. It didn't appear to be a low blow.
Now that shows to me that Ramos is really wearing down here, and he's going to have trouble winning this fight against Paez. That was not a low blow, although Cortez basically says it was by giving him all the time that he wanted to recover.
Yeah. And that's an important item, that time to recover.
That might also work into Paez's favor since he's the older of the fighters.
True.
But I think Paez is picking up in steam and Ramos is wearing down.
Yes. Maybe there's a sense of urgency about Paez that he's got to get after this guy. Maybe he feels like Ramos's corner told him, you're winning the fight, but you got to fight. Maybe Paez feels I was knocked down. This guy has had a pretty good round against me a moment or two ago. Maybe it was an even round, but I didn't win it by that much if I did.
And Ramos has also a neck at the same spot, almost the same spot that Paez has his.
You're watching the action in round 5. It is scheduled for 10.
You know, yesterday when we were talking to them, Ramos said that he would make Paez fight all 3 minutes, but it is Paez who's making him fight all 3 minutes of every round.
Well, on the face of it, you know, that sounds good because you've got an older fighter here and you want to make him work as much as possible. And Paez has never really been known for fighting 3 minutes of any round anyway.
Nice combinations by Paez.
Oh, these are great body shots he's landing.
And now they might disqualify him.
Well, this is going to be a controversial item. He hit Ramos with a left hand in the same spot where Ramos was hit before that he thought was a low blow. But I think
they're disqualifying Jorge Paez.
I can't believe that. I think Ramos was knocked down when Paez hit him, I don't think.
They must have seen some Luis Santana tapes.
Well,
let's see if we can see just how far toward the deck.
all right.
Watch the left hand. That's right at the belt line. And he sinks down. Well, he was on his knees when he hit him.
That's what knocked him out.
Yeah. But the punch that knocked him down was legitimate. Watch it right at the belt line. The left hand right there.
These are
now
not
as he
groin
goes up-
punches. You know, the guy is grabbing at his groin and his cup, and he's not being hit anywhere close to
That right hand, though, that was way uncalled for.
Yeah.
Right.
That right hand was.
No question about it.
Especially from a veteran fighter, a man who's been in the ring as much as Paez has. It was unfortunate that Jorge threw that punch. He had the man going down, but on his knees he hit him, and that is going to result in a disqualification, and that's a shame.
I feel that Jorge Paez was coming back and was going to win this fight, Tom.
Yeah. He was winning it. He was winning the fight. He was clearly the stronger of the two. He was taking charge of the fight. And now Ramos is being slowly helped up.
But Paez will be disqualified here, and Jose Vita Ramos will be considered the winner.
Well, it's an unfortunate ending to what was a dandy fight. Ramos is, of course, okay. Paez, I'm sure he is crushed. No question about it. There he is, winning the fight, only to lose it. Watch the left hand. That's legal. But when he goes to his knees, Paez nails him, and that is not legal. We'll be back. At Caesar's Palace, the Sports Pavilion, there still is a lot of confusion, conversation. Everything is a buzz and a hubbub. Rich?
Tom, I just talked to Commissioner Mark Ratner. When the disqualification comes about here, it will not be for the low blows, apparently, but for the hitting when the man was down.
I didn't think they were low blows.
No,
Neither did you.
no,
I thought they were right at the belt line of Ramos.
Absolutely not.
But on your knees and then getting hit, that'll get you disqualified. Jimmy Lennon Jr.'s got the official call.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at 2 minutes 49 seconds of round number 5. The referee in charge, Joe Cortez, disqualifies Jorge Paez for hitting the fighter while he was down. Therefore, the winner by way of disqualification, Jose Vita Ramos.
You know, Tom, I think if Paez does not hit Ramos when he's down, Ramos may not have gotten up.
Yes.
And Paez may have been a knockout winner at that point.
I couldn't agree more. I think Paez was coming on very strong, and I think had taken the upper hand in this fight. And the blows, we have the benefit of replay, of watching them again. Neither one of the so-called low blows was low. All of them landed right at the belt line. And of course, the one disappointing thing for Paez, and the unforgivable, was the fact that here is Ramos on his knees, and Paez hits him a shot that puts him down and eventually out and disqualifies Maramero. All right, let's go up to the ring. Fernando Paramo is up there surrounded by microphones, cameras, and fighters. Here's Fernando.
Vida, this wasn't what you were expecting. No era lo que tú esperabas este final.
Bueno, yo no esperaba este momento, como que iba a pasar la pelea así. Sé que iba a pasar la pelea, iba a pasar por decisión, aunque estábamos forzando mucho la pelea porque ambos estábamos buscando tanto el golpe como por nocaut o por decisión. Pero yo estaba haciendo mi pelea para ganar por decisión y si veía cualquier cosa, forzaba el momento, forzaba para ver si me lo podía llevar. Porque vi que él me estaba sintiendo la mano.
Okay, he says that this wasn't what he was expecting, although they both trying to win the fight by decision or by knockout. They were both going after each other, and both of them were going hard. You appear to have won the beginning rounds, and then you started fading away. Parece que tú ibas ganando los primeros asaltos, pero parecía que te estabas cansando.
No tanto el cansancio. Yo lo que estaba evitando los cabezajes, cada vez que me estaba entrando, me estaba chocando y estaba sintiendo la cabeza, pero no estaba buscando que no salí con una cortadura. Porque yo estaba ganando mi pelea. Todos los asaltos, yo estaba haciendo para ganar los asaltos, asalto por asalto, y lo estaba viendo, lo estaba ganando, aunque él trataba de dar, presionar el asalto dando como un golpe fuerte.
He says that basically he was trying to stay away from the head rush from Paez, and because he felt that he was winning every round, and was just trying not to get involved in those type of actions. We're going to take a look at the fight as the progression. Vamos a ver uno de la acción, un golpe bajo. Tell us what is happening. Dinos qué está pasando.
Ese como quiero, tanto el golpe bajo, pero el fuerte fue, lo sentía.
Okay, so that was a low blow, that was anywhere. And we're going to go take a look at the end of the fight. Vamos a ver el final de la pelea. Dinos qué pasa. Tell us what's happening.
Tú estás viendo que estaba tratando de los golpes. Oh, shit. No.
I guess no translation needed there. He says that he was not satisfied at all with what happened. Well, basically, that's the first time that he sees what was going on. And okay, is there going to be a rematch? ¿Va a haber una revancha?
Vamos, la revancha eso va, pero iba a ser mi segundo paisano, iba a ser el segundo Cucuzo Santana.
He says that he was going to be just like his countryman, Cucuzo Luis Santana. So we're going back to you, Tom. Well, let's go to a commercial. We'll be right back with Jorge Paez.
There's no better place to find excitement than Jeep Adventure Days, a fun-filled savings event at your Jeep and Eagle dealer, where for a limited time you can lease a Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo for just $269 a month. Get a Jeep Cherokee Sport with over $1,300 in values, including no-charge air, or get a great deal on the fun-loving Jeep Wrangler. But hurry, because while the adventures will go on, this event will not.
The $269 a month lease offer absolutely ends in 2 days.
Over the past 3 years, Dodge has offered a choice of more new nameplates than anybody else. Here are 3 more new choices that make it easier for you to drive the best-selling Dodge Caravan. Like cash savings and values to $2,360 for current owners, or an interest rate as low as 4.9%. Or choose a great Caravan lease rate, the Dodge Buyer's Choice Sale. The choice is all yours. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Welcome back to Caesar's Palace, the Sports Pavilion. Fernando's in the ring with Jorge Paez, who was over here a moment ago. And I want to repeat again, if you were watching this fight at all, those were not low blows thrown by Paez. Both of those punches that some people keep referring to as low blows were right at the belt line. They were legitimate, legal punches. The one thing that he did, which was, and I told him he was stupido. The man is on his knees, going down, and I think Ramos wanted a way out.
Yeah.
And Paez just provided him an easy way, and an unfortunate loss when he hit him while he was on his knees. Despite all of that, you can't do that, and the fight goes to a disqualification. Fernando, if you will, please.
Jorge, this is the first time that something like this has happened to you. Es la primera vez que algo así te pasa.
¿Mande?
Es la primera vez que algo así te pasa.
La verdad que sí, porque yo nunca trato de lastimar a los muchachos, y menos hacerles un foul, ¿no?
He says that that is the first time that this has happened. He never tries to hurt somebody, an opponent, and not even, and much less on a foul. The first punches appear to be with legal punches. The last punch was not legal. Los primeros golpes parecieron ser legales. Los otros no fueron legales. Vamos a verlos en la pantalla. Let's see them on the screen. Tell us about it. Háblanos de esto.
All right. Le pegué abajo. Además que el problema es que cuando... Pero iba al hígado, pero mira, no pone la rodilla.
He says that his knees were not even on the floor. He says he's asking for a replay because he says that the knees were not there when he hit him.
Iba para abajo.
He was still in his way down.
No había puesto las rodillas.
But the knees was not there.
I'm sorry, pero I know.
Okay, here we go again. Vamos a ver otra vez.
Mira, le pegué el gancho.
There's a hit to the liver.
Iba para abajo, no pone la rodilla, mira.
The knees were still not there.
No, apenas.
And just before he reached the floor, he hit him.
No había puesto la rodilla, pero ya ni modo, ya se le dieron a él, ¿qué le voy a hacer? Ni modo.
He says that they already gave him the fight. There's nothing else that he can do about it. Would you like a rematch? ¿Te gustaría una revancha?
Parece que sí, el 28 de agosto en Los Ángeles.
August 28th in LA. So here you already have the rematch set. You said that you respect your opponent. Dices que respetas a los oponentes.
Yo les tengo respeto a todos. Hasta a mi vieja le tengo respeto a todos. No, pero ni modo, esto es un deporte. I know.
He says that he respects everybody, even his wife, but this is a sport, and this is the way it is. What are you going to do now? ¿Qué es lo que vas a hacer ahora? ¿Regresar al gimnasio?
Pues no va a quedar otra, porque va a quedar la revancha con él, otra vez en Los Ángeles, el 24 de agosto, 25 de agosto.
Okay, well, he says that he's ready. He's going to go right back to work, and so he can fight him again in August. Back to you, Tom.
Un saludo para...
Well, he's got the date all picked out, Rich Morata, August 28th. I'll be there. He's got an idle weekend. He's an unbelievable, charismatic guy, Paez. What an unfortunate ending to what was a dandy fight. We'll be back with a final recap for you in a moment.